Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boy.
Vivek Ramaswamy on American culture. Like I said before, Vivek Ramaswamy was seen on Twitter, X, formerly known as X, talking about this American visa thing that they're doing for immigrants. And it is a, what is it, a HV1? A H-1B, my fault, an H-1B visa for skilled workers. And him and Elon Musk were going in on Twitter saying that we need more H-1B visas to get more skilled workers over here from other countries. Sent MAGA, Republicans, Democrats as well in an uproar because, as y'all know, they are on Trump's side, MAGA, whatever. They've been talking about less immigration into the U.S. and focusing more on American workers. But here you have Elon Musk, who decided, not Elon Musk didn't decide, Elon Musk is someone who came to the U.S. using an H-1B visa, and he says we need more. Vivek Ramaswamy came on that bandwagon and is like, hey, let's get more immigrants of skilled labor in here. And everyone's in an uproar. But I really wanted to review what Vivek had to say specifically about American culture, y'all. So let's go ahead and get right on into that video. Let's go. All right, y'all. So we're going to just read what he had to say on Twitter, backing up his claims of why we need more skilled immigrants coming to the U.S. and not all of the illegal immigrants that are coming through the Mexican border, basically. Let's get it. The reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans isn't because of innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. Yes, it would be, because we have a lot of smart, very educated Americans here in the U.S. A key part of it comes down to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers. And if you're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. So I'm figuring that he's going to now tell us the truth about American culture and what American culture now stands for when it comes to raising up our young, and what American values actually are seen today, that of course would differ from other cultures as to why we would need more skilled labor coming in via the H-1B visa. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence. Okay, so that's a great way to bring this in. He's saying that we hold up mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s, and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. Just this first little part that he put in here, I already know where he's going. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. Just starting right there, y'all. Just right there. Now we can talk about, because we're talking about young, we're talking about the culture of America that we push on our young people today. I would like to say American culture, of course, trash, especially in what he's saying right here. We do celebrate the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ. Like that's known. If you are in school, American culture pushes sports more than education. And I'm not going to say this is a wide variety. Actually, I will say this is a wide variety, especially in the community that I come from, the Black community. We for sure push sports, the jock, over the valedictorian. And that does not produce the best engineers. That doesn't produce the best workers. It really pushes a lifestyle of fame, media, more of a arts lifestyle to me than engineers, than mathematicians, scientists. Like we don't have a very we have a very popularity push to go for, especially in the Black community. What I see the Black community push for, specifically in the Black community, y'all, athletes, that means basketball, football, main two. Those are the two that we're pushing into. But even on our sports, becoming a rapper, a singer, entertainment. Now we've even switched over even more into content creation. So everybody wants to be a content creator, actor. No, not much do I ever see the culture as a whole pushing kids to actually be good in things such as math and reading. I know plenty of kids who know all the cuss words in the books. They can rap full songs, but let's be real, they can't read, write. They don't know they don't know their multiplication table. The culture has pretty much been like this, I would say, since the 90s. I have seen this pushed. It's trash, y'all. It's trash. And I think it's in the culture we live today. It's in what people see as a whole. Think about the music as a whole that's pushed, the propaganda, the TV shows that are pushed upon young people these days, or even when I was growing up. I'm telling y'all, some of the biggest things I remember is the 1 in 6 of Parks. 1 in 6 of Park, Bad Girls Club, the music videos that we used to see. All this stuff, it pushes a culture that is not really effective in producing the best engineers. That's 100%, y'all. That's 1,000%. Grew up seeing on TV, LeBron James, Kobe. That's the dream that Americans push on our kids these days. I don't think it's a big dream of like, I want to be a scientist. We do hear astronaut, but after like a certain age, after kindergarten, you don't hear people saying for real, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be an engineer. I want to be an architect. You don't hear people really go into a lot of these lanes, and it's not really pushed. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a nurse. I don't really hear these things with a mass majority of people in American culture these days. Let's continue reading though. A culture that venerates, y'all, look, he's using crazy words. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World, or Zach and Slater over Sketch in Saved by the Bell, or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers. The one that hits home to me is Stefan over Steve Urkel. And the story of that is, y'all know Steve Urkel, when he's walking around just as being Steve Urkel, a majority of the people find him annoying. A majority of the people find him a nuisance. A majority of the people see him as a detriment to their livelihood. But when he turns into Stefan, now everybody loves him because of who he portrays. He's not the smart guy anymore. Well, I think as Stefan, he's still pretty smart, but his persona changes to a very popular jock type type vibes. And there's a lot more that can be read from Family Matters, but when it comes to the show pushing this American culture agenda, they very much pushed the agenda of when he's Stefan, he's wanted, he's glorified in culture. And when he's Steve, he's the bottom of culture. Nobody wants him around. Fact, I know multiple sets of immigrant parents in the 90s who actively limited how much their kids could watch these TV shows, precisely because they promoted mediocrity and their kids were on to becoming widely successful STEM graduates. Their kids went on to become widely successful STEM graduates. And now we can have a talk about, y'all, I blame the parents for a lot of the stuff that goes down when it comes to pushing the culture in their own household for the limitation in the beliefs of their kids. Their kids don't see anything more because of the culture that it has started in the household, and then allowing culture as a whole to put that veil over the kids' eyes. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, growing up, this is something that my grandma used to do to us, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. She used to do this. And I feel like parents should honestly actively, especially these days, take a more progressive stance in limiting the things that their kids have access to. This is why you see a lot of the social media things coming in play where kids under 14 can't have social media. And I know that's Florida hit that very hard, but my grandma actively limited how much we could participate in television when we were over there. She That's So Raven was the worst television show for kids ever. And she said because That's So Raven was always getting into some mess. Always getting into some mess. And I'm parents should be telling their kids over, you can be a football star. You should be telling them engineer, architect. I know for me, that's all I used to hear was you're going to be architect. You're going to be architect, 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 architect. And I actually started going in that way. Obviously, I ended up being an engineer instead of architect just because as learning through school, I was more going the engineering path than architect. But still, it's all in the same lane. What you tell a kid their possibility can be, that's what they see their possibilities being. And if you limit it only to being a jock, an athlete, that's all there is. They're all there is. More movies like Whiplash. I don't even know what Whiplash is, y'all. Fewer reruns of Friends, more math tutoring, fewer sleepovers, more weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV, more creating, less chilling, more extracurriculars, less hanging out at the mall. This is all on parents. This is all on parents. Most normal American parents look skeptically at those kinds of parents. More normal American kids view those kinds of kids with scorn. If you grow up aspiring to be normal, normalcy is what you will achieve. Y'all seen how I switched the words over real quick? Because, yeah, I understand, y'all. That word means to be normal. Normal cussing. Normal cuss. Clay. I don't know, y'all. Come on now. To be normal, you will be normal. And that is definitely what American culture, I feel like, looks like for a majority of the people. For a majority of people. Parents push normacy on their kids. And that's all kids see it being. I know a lot of times, this is why I say Black culture, not just specifically speaking to Black culture. People know Asian kids as being smart. People know when you think of Asian kids, just from you think Klarna, which is tutoring for their kids and all those things. Black culture does not push these things as a whole. 1,000%. You won't see kids getting in trouble that much for having bad grades. They're not going to get. A lot of parents aren't even going to care. A lot of these parents go to the teacher conference and they're looking at the teacher like something's wrong with the teacher. But the household does not push these things. The household is pushing, you're going to be a sports star. You're going to save us from this, from the hood, by sports or by being a singer. We don't push be smart enough, I feel like. We don't push be smart enough. Let's continue. Now close your eyes and visualize which families you knew in the 90s or even now who raised their kids according to one model versus the other. Be brutally honest. Being normal doesn't cut it in a hyper-competitive global market for technical talent. And if we pretend like it does, we'll have our butts handed to us by China. Yes, that is true. That is true. 1,000% true. It is tough to say, but it is true. This can be our Sputnik moment. We've awakened from slumber before. We can do it again. Trump's election hopefully marks the beginning of a new golden era in America, but only if our culture fully wakes up. A culture that once again prioritizes achievements over normalcy, excellency over mediocrity, nerdiness over conformity, hard work over laziness. That's the work we have cut out for us, rather than wallowing in victimhood and just wishing or legislating alternative hiring practices into existence. I'm confident we can do it. Go America, go America, go America. Guys, American culture definitely has to change if we want better engineers, better scientists. As a whole, I feel like, yes, we are lagging behind. While we're still ahead, we need to stay ahead, y'all. American culture, it just doesn't push anymore. Like he said, nerdiness. Not even being nerdiness, because nobody. I even hate how he put that. Being smart is cool, guys. Being smart is cool. Being dumb is not cool. So the culture around the word nerdiness, like, let's make that cool. No, because to me, being nerd is be smart. We need to push I know plenty of people who are smart and cool. I wouldn't call them nerds. They're just smart. As a whole, like the verbiage we use to describe these things sucks as a whole. It sucks as a whole, guys. And the things that we value as American culture has to change. Being smart should not be dumbed down to you're a nerd. And then you have Vivek saying, well, nerdiness over a jock. No, guys. You can be a jock still and be smart. It's just the characteristics of being a jock needs to change. Being cool in school now needs to be you're smart. This person can hold a good conversation. This person knows how to read and write. American culture as a whole needs to stop valuing certain things over others. We shouldn't value sports over your GPA. Your GPA should come first. And I know in a lot of households, your GPA comes after the sports. Your GPA comes after all the things that we value in culture. That's American culture for y'all, guys. That's American culture. Y'all let me know if y'all feel like Vivek Ramaswamy is right about American culture. Because I feel like he is right. Yes, he is right. And as a whole, we need to change the characteristics of a lot of the words that we use. Because we shouldn't be calling somebody a nerd for being smart, guys. For being smart. We need to value differences of opinion. We need to value people being different. And we need to stop judging people so much for the value that they bring, because everybody brings different value. Everybody brings a different value. But also in households as young as raising up our young, we need to push better values on them so that their future can be broader and wider as a whole. Because a lot of these kids, y'all, they don't see a future of them being an engineer, being a scientist. And it's not because they don't have examples of it. There's plenty of scientists of all races. There's plenty of educators of all races. There's plenty of lawmakers of all races, guys. It's just in their households, they don't see it. The household culture doesn't extend outside of rappers. That's just what it is. Their household doesn't extend further than LeBron James or Kobe. So that's what they aspire to be. I think it really starts at the nucleus, which is families, and changing that culture first. Because yeah, the things that kids are raised up on, a lot of parents just don't care. Our parents don't care. A lot of people are not. I see. A lot of people don't have the qualifications to be parents at all, because they don't. You don't push anything on your parents, on them. That's a whole nother topic for another day. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know, is Vivek Ramaswamy right in this case with American culture? Let me know what we can change for American culture, because American culture right now, especially for the Black community, me as a whole, yes, we have pockets that are doing great, but as a whole, we push trash out into the culture, and as a whole, especially onto our kids. And that is a veil over their eyes of the possibilities of their future.